Welcome, everyone. This is a live video broadcast as part of our Living in Oneness Summit. It is great to be with you. This is a special 60-minute program with Kenji Kumura. We're going to be covering a lot of valuable ground today, including energy activations that Kenji will be personally leading. I know that you're going to enjoy this program. A quick introduction to Humanity's team as we get started. In Humanity's team, we see there is only one presence, the divine, and see that we're all emanations of the divine, sort of like waves to an ocean. It's true for each of us and all of life. It doesn't matter how far our lives may be from reflecting this truth. It's still true. Our invitation is to live in communion with the divine and be an authentic expression of the presence, peace, and power that are our true essence. We don't need to be perfect or even excellent. We're invited to simply receive God's love and be an expression of that, each in our own way. We can be intentional about this, so we live this way each day. And of course, when we do this together, we create the world that we know is ours. Okay, concerning today's program with Kenji Kumura, I'd like to invite you to share your questions by placing them in the chat window. The sooner the better. This way we can get to them during the 60-minute program. You might go ahead and begin sharing your comments and questions now. Kenji's programs are always flooded with questions and comments, so literally the sooner the better. I'd like to extend an invitation to those of you who receive a value from our weekly programming. Our weekly programs cost us about $1,000 to produce each week, and we provide these programs free to the public. If you find value in the programming, we invite you to go to humanitiesteam.org, and you'll see the yellow donate button up in the top right. You can click there to contribute. I think we're also putting a link here in the chat window. As well, we're putting up a slide that shows people that have donated recently. And thank you to all of you for your generosity and the recent donors. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to read a brief introduction from my special guest now. Kenji Kumura is recognized as worldwide as a spiritual catalyst and is the creator of quantum lightweaving and Sedona Vortex activations. With an academic training in education, psychology, and the healing arts, Kenji serves as a facilitator of consciousness to assist those who wish to explore the personal path of illumination and awaken to their soul's destiny and life purpose. He serves as a channel holder and initiator of expanded grounded awareness and provides a vibrational space for one's awakening, self-empowered healing, and soul mastery. Upon attending one of Kenji's intensive retreats and online series, many have reported that they found profound life changes and clarity in their life purpose. Many receive ongoing benefits such as stress relief, reversal of physical conditions, and reduction and elimination of worry, anxiety, and self-doubt. And welcome to the program, Kenji. It's always great to have you with us.
Hey, thank you very much, Steve. Hello, everyone.
All right, well, it's awesome to be with you, Kenji. And of course, Kenji's based in Sedona, Arizona. How lucky is he?
Pretty lucky.
Pretty lucky, yeah, absolutely. So, well, Kenji, we've created this program as a live experiential activation with interaction from our audience. So I know there's a lot of ways that we could start. How would you like to go ahead and begin here today?
Well, I would like to ask everyone to center yourself and be very present for the next approximately 1 hour. So we do this easily by focusing on the breath. So if we just take 7 deep breaths and extended exhales and just hold the feeling thought that you're coming into here and now, very present with what is and what will happen. And just let go of anything that you feel you have to do right now mentally, so you can be very present. Just let go of the day, your to-do list. Let go of what's happening in your world and just be here present. And feel the connection with the earth as your support. Very important. And this will help to set the activation for the next hour. Okay, wonderful.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kenji. Yeah, always nice to be present. That's the invitation here, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, fantastic. Well, I know, there's many things that we talk about, but opportunities for self-transformation is one of the things often as we journey down this path together. Is that a good place to start? Again, I'm open to just what your higher self is calling in here as we take this journey with our viewers here today.
Sure. What do you think your audience would like to experience right now in the conversation before we get into the activation?
Yeah, what you might do, Kenji, because you've got, of course, as we were sharing before this program, you've got this community that knows you so well, and that just comes right into these beautiful activations that you do. But for people that are new to the program and that maybe are unaware of your teachings, this quantum light weaving and just this whole process of how you came into the mastery of this program that you now offer to the public and that brings so many people so much value.
Well, we can always use a sports analogy or learning how to ride a bicycle for that matter. So let's just do the bicycle one. So if you remember, we all pretty much had a bicycle at one point in our early life. And we usually had to start out with training wheels so we didn't fall over. We usually had to do it on level ground, not a hill. And after about 2 weeks, we could take off the training wheels and explore more of how to use the gears, how to go uphill, downhill. And then after a number of months or even a few years, you got really good in cornering and braking and jumping over barrels, let's say. And so when I started this, obviously I didn't have a background of what it would feel like to reach people, to do these activations, to physically teach. I guess I have kind of like the character or the personality that just is willing to go out and do it, experiment, and see what works and see what doesn't work. So over the years, from about, when did I start teaching sort of off and on? Early 80s, when I was in Tucson, working at Canyon Ranch Spa. I did a few workshops, fumbled around, got really nervous, but that didn't stop me. I go, okay, so what can I create next? And so it was like this gradual building up of, now I've got to hire people to help me with my business. I've got to create a website. Social media, what's that? And funny thing, in the year 2000, I got a voice saying, you better learn the computer or you're going to be way behind. And I knew what that voice meant. So I went and learned it at the unemployment office in Mount Shasta, not having any background with anything having to do with computers. Oh my God, it was painful, but I endured. So here, 17 years later, I'm pretty good with the computer. I can kind of figure things out and navigate. So I believe life's like that. We're born in this world, we fumble around, we experiment, we go through our traumas and dramas, we go through our losses, our gains. And I come to realize, because there's a lot of, I believe, misconception about what enlightenment is, what is oneness, what is unconditional love, all that stuff. But I really don't care. I want to help people have an experience of the connection that they already have within themselves, which is totally non-local. So it's not like here or there or even here, but it's present, like it's here right now. So what we're going to do today is just hold the space for people to actually breathe into that experience of what it's like to be their unified soul, to be that healing that they desire, that presence. So what I realized is, if we can give people an experience, that is more valuable than an hour's worth of lecture talk.
Yes, it is. That's beautiful. Boy, and thank you for bringing in your a little bit of the history where you were Canyon Ranch and you shared you were kind of starting this, and it was a little bit of a fumbling experience because I know I can relate to that. I'm sure viewers can relate to that. So this journey to mastery is like that, isn't it? It's not like you just start out as the Buddha.
Well, here's the funny thing. We're born as the Buddha, and then we kind of forget and get lost in the world. And coming back home full circle, back to, oh, yes, I guess I am the Buddha.
Right, exactly. So tell us about that. So how do you, and I love as well, you mentioned, you're not trying to get caught up in explaining things where there are lots of misconceptions. Your practice is to bring people back into just this place of non-local self or universal self, or which is quantum light weaving, where we're really bringing in our higher self and living from that place of higher self. So maybe we can just talk about that just a little more and then go right into these practices.
Well, let me see here. What's coming to mind is, and we can look at it from a Christian perspective, because most of us were raised in a Christian environment, whether our parents went to church or not. That influence is ingrained in the atmosphere, in our culture, literally in the ground. The teachings, the misconceptions of the teachings of a Christ, let's say. Oh, you could even say, and a Buddha. See, where I see the stumbling block is, in a sense, is people's ideas about what reality is. That gets in the way. And if you look at the news, on an extreme level, it manifests as what we see on the daily news, of which is not very pleasant. We all can agree to that. So how do you take something like Krishnamurti was always questioning, can the mind be free? Can the individual soul personality, can it actually be free of the thoughts and the beliefs, the conditioning in the mind? He did not know, so he posed the question, can the mind be free? And I think it's still very relevant today. Can your mind, Steve, or anybody's, can it be free on a regular basis to not get in the way of our happiness and our peace of mind and how we do our spiritual work, or how we do our job at Starbucks or Costco, or the mechanic shop down the street? I feel if we could just for a moment take our religious conceptions, even our spiritual metaphysical conceptions, and just put them aside for, like, say, for the next 40 minutes, and just be totally open to possibility. See, that's the quantum, to be totally open to any possibility that we're ready, that our soul is ready to give us. So, okay, for the newbies, so the teachings is, we exist on many different levels of which we're not aware of all the time. This is just one little piece of who we are. So the pain and the struggle is when we identify with this completely, and that's it. The whole thought of, okay, we got one life and that's it. Boy, that's such a crazy notion. It just boggles my mind. Just imagine that we have so many lifetimes ahead of us and to the side of us, literally, quantum theory again, that we can be really anybody that we choose to be. So that's the freedom that we have to help release the mind of this set way of thinking. Okay, this is reality, and but I'm stuck. So part of us feels like we want to be in a different place, in a different perspective, a different zone, because suffering, what? It's painful. It's not very pleasant. And the Buddha tried to teach us that there is a way out of suffering or stress, Today, we just call it stress. We call it worry. We call it anxiety. And then we do all these things to try to alleviate it. But really, we gotta go within for everything, all our conditions, whether it's an injury, an illness, addiction, emotional trauma, a mental illness, spiritual, existential crisis. See, a lot of us are in this existential crisis. Who am I in this world of chaos? How do I get out of this chaos? Like in the movie, The Matrix. So if you're Neo, but you're not aware that you're stuck in this program reality, how in the heck are you going to get out of it? Pill? What pill? Red pill, blue pill? Rabbit hole? What the heck's that?
Beautiful. You know, you've got such a unique way of describing this, and also quantum light weaving and these activations are also very unique. And I love that this is really your personal journey that you're teaching, isn't it, Kenji?
It is, yeah. We teach what we need to learn, and we also teach what we've mastered. Goes hand in hand.
Yeah. So, well, I know it'd be great to drop into an activation here soon, just the experience of this for people maybe new to your practices, and those that aren't new. You were talking to some people that are part of Humanity's team that have gone through your practices years ago. It still is just refreshing, renewing, revitalizing. So yeah, let's just keep journeying down this path here. We've got questions starting to come in, but maybe we can do something experiential before I start bringing in questions.
Why don't we do questions and then we'll do the experience?
Okay, you got it. Yeah, that's the higher self is tuned in. So this is, I love, you know, and I want to share, as we were talking about this program in the weeks ahead, and I was asking Kenji, what are the things you want to get to? He said, let's just, you know, ask me questions from your higher self. So, you know, all of the things we're talking about here aren't academic at all. It's just this whole foreshadowing thing that Kenji's talking about. We've got in Humanity's team, we'll talk about during this program, Global Oneness Day, which is our biggest spiritual activism event of the year. It's on next Tuesday, the 24th. Kenji's actually on the Spirituality Embodying Your True Nature panel. We'll talk about that. But with that incredible workload, this is where this work in the spiritual gym comes in, is to even now stay present, really live in this place of where we're representing the divine, which is a part of who we are, is how I frame it. Quantum light weaving frames it in another way, but we're talking about the very same thing of just choosing, as Kenji was sharing, okay, who are we going to embody and express here now, you know, and are we present here now? So here's the question from Tracy in Buffalo. She says, Kenji, can you please explain how I enter into illumination and openness? I often feel a lot of density.
Yes. Well, I think there's a few factors that we have to become aware of. First one is judgment, and we make judgments about everything all the time. So when we become aware that we're judging something or someone or a situation, we can decide, okay, let's just drop that for right now, because that's not important, this judgment, whatever it is. We all know what that means. We make an analysis of something and then we make it good or bad, or we feel a certain way when we make that thought adjustment that we call it judgment. So let's just imagine that we didn't have to ever make a judgment about ourselves, about other people, about situations we don't like. And if we just accept it, that, okay, this is my experience of this. Okay, so I can take a deep breath now, okay, and move on. And I'm still present. That to me feels much more simple than how we've complicated our life. Don't you think, Steve?
Yeah, very liberating. So don't try and what you resist persists. So you're saying, no, instead breathe into it, feel it, and then just kind of let it go, you know, in a liberating kind of way.
Yes, teach ourselves, okay, That's not really important. Okay, so I'm upset with that person. All right, so okay, I'm going to feel the emotions of it. I'm going to be aware of my thoughts and my judgments, and then, okay, let's let that go and move on, because contemplate it logically. It makes no sense to hold on to judgments and grievances and resentments and, oh God, that happened to be 18 years ago or last year. You know, we flash back. We always have flashbacks of like, oh, that didn't work, or that worked, or oh gee, I went through that experience. Okay, let it go. You don't need to keep being attached to it energetically. Let it go and move on. So it's easy to say, but we need to practice this aspect of being aware of our thoughts and our feelings and our judgments, and then let them go.
Yeah,
So
beautiful.
in the work that we offer, whether it's retreats or personal sessions or Sedona hikes, we all have the same focus, the intention. My intention for my clients, my friends, students that come to study is, all right, what kind of a state can I express to them that tells them it's okay to be themselves, it's okay to begin to feel this enlightenment energy, which is everywhere all the time. We don't have to seek it. We just have to like get centered, whether you call it meditation, doing yoga, walks in nature, to get centered and to feel that presence and go, yeah, that's me. That is more me than anything else. See, we allow our thinking mind to get in the way of so much stuff.
And Kenji, that enlightenment energy. So how do you know when you're in that place? What does that feel like to you?
Feels really good. It feels like a natural high, if you want to put it on a level of emotional scale. So the comments I get when people go into their own oneness is they say, oh, there's no thoughts. And there really isn't. There's no thoughts in that space. Oh, I have not felt this peaceful in I don't know how long. Oh, I feel so much love and I feel so connected to everything. So that's what they continually say on a regular basis. So that's your indicator that, hey, you're in a place that you know you want to be, but generally you're not there because you're in the busy world trying to accomplish everything. So we need to learn how to bring that peacefulness into the marketplace. And that is going to take the rest of your life. That's ongoing. That's every day.
It's a journey.
Yeah. How do I master today? Well, first you've got to create the feeling of how do I want to feel today? I want to feel more love and I want to feel more joy. Period. That's it. Okay. Let's go for it.
So that's a good segue into a question here from Gloria. She says, how do I forgive myself for judgments? And thank you. She says, I do hear your words, yet thoughts are so loud, especially at having thoughts about, these judgment things.
Okay, dear, just decide today that you're going to become friends with your thoughts and know that you are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. So we have believed that we kind of are what we think. But that's not true. Because if you take your thoughts and put them aside, you can do that right now, literally, just playfully, just take your thoughts, put them aside, and now just tap into your soul, which is everywhere. So that's the real you. This over here is just an experience, and it really doesn't mean anything. In the long run, it doesn't mean anything. See, we've been conditioned to think. When we were little kids, we were conditioned to think. We weren't conditioned to feel kinesthetically, to feel emotionally, to feel sensorially. We weren't trained to operate that way. So we have to now begin to shift our paradigm, right? So to now make how do I feel and what do I feel more important than what I think. Think about anything. So make friends with your thoughts. Love your thoughts and go, okay, I hear you, and now step aside. You can actually say to your head, to your mind, okay, and now step aside. Thank you for sharing, and now step aside. So you're acknowledging that part of you that maybe is an analyzer, what do we call it? A judger, in a sense, the right and wrong part, all of that. See, we could go on and on answering that question, but hopefully you are getting a sense of what can be possible.
Yeah, boy,
The
that's,
judgmental
you really
mind.
went right to the essence, is that these judgments, that this is not who we are. These are just, as
Oh,
you're bringing in quantum physics here, that this is, that we're, these are thoughts that are cerebral, and not trying to push them away. I love that about this practice, Kenji, because, you know, of course, what we resist persists. So if we just try and push away the thoughts without taking that breath in and acknowledging them, you know, even giving them a hug before we release them, they'll just keep coming back, which maybe speaks to Gloria here, who says they're so loud, you know, these judgments, and it's hard for me to forgive myself. You might bring in the dimension of forgiving self. I think you kind of implied a lot of things in what you just said, Kenji, but do you want to address that specifically?
oh, I got a sense of why that is her loud thoughts. Probably has to do with mom or parents and how they trained her to be in the world, discipline, all right, ethics, manners, whatever. So we have to remember, if we were judged, and especially verbally and emotionally, that's going to be in our head. That talk is going to be in our head. And so a lot of times when we hear these thoughts, they're not ours. They're our parents, our first marriage partner, our first love affair, who knows? Our first teacher at school, the nun or the priest at church. Have I ever heard really loving things that the church people taught little kids? No. It's always been oh, they did this. And see, that'll stick. That'll stick to you unless you understand that that's not you, and that was a projection and a judgment upon you that has nothing to do with you. That's their problem. So if you look at it that way, you know, it's a little bit like unlayering and uncovering until a point where you kind of it kind of automatically does it on its own once you kind of like get the wheels rolling in your consciousness. Oh, okay, this is how I can release these thoughts and these judgments. Give me your question again, Steve, because I think I went on a tangent.
Yeah, no, this was good, because you're addressing the judgments and forgiving yourself.
Okay, the forgiveness part.
Yeah.
I like the kahuna part, you know, about thank you, I love you, and I forgive you, I forgive myself, all of that. That's really good medicine.
Yeah.
Forgiveness can be a way to what we call awakening. There are many paths, obviously. So one can be the path of forgiveness. And basically all that means is I basically forgive myself for all the silly things I've done in my life, or all the things that I feel bad about, or that I feel guilty about, or shameful about, or all of that.
Right. So that Polynesian prayer, yeah, I love you, thank you. That is beautiful. So the other things coming in are comments here. Bob from Toronto says, I so appreciate your experience. You're so right that I've been conditioned to stuff my feelings and live in a mind that is really hard on myself. And then Reverend Zen brings in that I lost my left brain with a major surgery as an energy worker and astrologer for years. Part of that, I discovered that my cellular intelligence, and that then took Reverend Zen down a whole new path. Sacredenergyspace.com and a book are two of the things that came out of Reverend Zen's journey.
Nice, yeah.
So you're touching on a lot of important, very relevant things here, Kenji. Yeah. Well, why don't we? Do you want to do an activation thing here?
Okay, we'll do about a 10-minute activation. I'm going to close my eyes. So you folks on video, you can close your eyes as well. We'll still be here. That's a comedy team. You can close your eyes, but we'll still be here. You know, it's like a little kid. They close their eyes. Okay, you're not there because I can't see you. We're still here. All right. So how about palms on your laps facing upwards, and imagine that the palms of your hands are like a receiver to a radio. That the palms of your hands are receiving signals from your higher self or your soul, your God presence. And these signals are messages for you for today, this week, and the rest of this month. These messages are going to come in the form of a feeling sensation, a vibration. They're not going to come in thoughts, although they may come in visual symbology. But we like you to feel the sensory signal that's entering your body. So when your hands consciously take in and receive signals from the universe, they're like impulses that can be instantly translated by your body, not your mind, but by your body, because your body is intelligent. And see, not so much see, feel where it goes, these signals, where they go in your body, because they're going to go to an area of your body where you need it. So it could be your stomach, your liver, the base of your spine, your eyeballs, your jaw, your TMJ, your lungs. So wherever you are needing this right now, wherever you can receive these healing frequencies, if we can call it that, just breathe it in. Now again, feel grounded with the earth. Just feel a connection that your body is a part of this beautiful earth. Now, your pineal gland here, between your brow, is a very important gland in your body. Pineal gland is represented by your inner eye, or your sixth chakra. You have many chakras, by the way, 144,000. You have many layers in your auric field, like 144,000. So you are very immense, in a matter of speaking. So feel and imagine that around you, that you are owning, you're taking ownership of your space, to both sides, to front and back, top, bottom, diagonal, in all 10 directions, as we say, that you are owning that energy space. Now what you're going to do is take a deep breath and just let go of all the energies that aren't yours, are leaving your space right now. On the out breath, poof. And you're going to feel a difference when you do that. Let's do it one more time. You take everybody's projections, emotions, feelings, belief systems from day one, and just remove it from your space. Give it back to them wherever it came from. And now take a deep breath and fill up your space once again with you. Another deep breath. Just breathe in you. It's invisible and it can be visible as well. But you're going to feel a difference. Move your energy into your space and own it. Now, bring your awareness to your solar plexus right here, and also to your chest and your heart area. So it's the core of your body, actually from your belly button up to the part of your lungs. Just feel that space as your core. And with your feeling, kinesthetic abilities, your sensing, sense that you are choosing now, today, right now, to be more of your natural self in all things. And take a deep breath and feel what it's like to be peace and harmony. Now breathe that into your life. So you're going to breathe that out into your space. Take in a deep breath that says, I know the answers to all my problems, to all my issues, to all my conflicts, to all my unawareness. I know I am the answers to all my internal conflicts, judgments, pain, and suffering. And I give myself permission to release all resistance and fear, false evidence appearing real. I let go of all fear and resistance to quantum changes. Now, feel as if your pineal gland is being stimulated. You'll feel a little tingling, maybe warmth or coolness. You might feel your brain actually shifting and moving internally. That's normal. You might feel a slight pain in your heart come and go. You might feel a little funny stuff in your solar plexus. It'll come and it'll go. Not to worry. Now feel again harmony and balance moving through your spine. Moving up and down your spine. You can visualize it as a very light blue, like a sky blue. Or just a feeling of peace and calm and centeredness. Okay, we're coming back into the now. Take a deep breath. I am here, I am now, I am. So intend that right now inwardly. I am here, I am now, I am. And then slowly open your eyes. And remember to drink some water because you'll get thirsty. Water is a conductor for the quantum frequencies. It lubricates the cells and the organs so it can receive these changes. So water is always suggested at least 4 ounces to drink after you meditate, after you do any kind of self-healing work. Okay, and when you're ready, slowly open the eyes and just be present. Okay. The hardest part is opening your eyes.
Yeah, so that was beautiful, Kenji. Wow, thank you. So we've been given a taste of a lot here, and actually these are tools, these things that you're talking about, how we can release these thoughts that aren't serving us, and how we can really come into our own sort of personal power plant, what you call quantum light weaving, where we're in that place of joy and connection and just blessing, grace, and peace. We're going to talk a little bit about something that you developed here for our viewers, but Kenji, what, as you're guiding people down this path, these are beautiful tools. How do you invite people to just really kind of keep these tools present and handy to use on a day-to-day basis? Because I suspect some of the challenge is just really being devoted to this practice of doing these things on a day-to-day basis and not being foreshadowed by all of the kinds of crazy things going on in the world and things that are going on in people's lives.
We just say you got to do your homework.
Yeah.
Practice. You got to do your homework. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's simple as that. If you're dedicated to a practice, that is a very, very positive thing. If you get lazy, here's one of the challenges on the spiritual path. It's called laziness and procrastination. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I don't have time tomorrow. I'll do it the next day. Or I don't have time. I don't have the desire. Okay, then you'll just be stuck until you commit to doing a practice of some kind.
Yeah. Boy, that is so true. Having a practice that at least at the start of your day as a minimum, and probably more than that, but to just get in this space of grace and peace and blessing, and so that we can, as is often said, the present is a present. but we're not taking it. We're not opening our gift when we don't really take the time, when we're not devoted to living in our practice. So it's a firm requirement, isn't it? There's no way around it. I don't know anybody that just doesn't have any spiritual practice that can maintain living in this place. It takes devotion, but the fruit is there, and so why would you not be devoted? I guess, huh?
Yeah. So we can just shift to it being a drudgery or something to do, to be spiritual, to like, oh, I'm looking forward to this because I'm going to feel good. I mean, just that thought of, oh, okay, so I'm looking forward to my morning meditation because it's going to make me feel good. And it's going to set the day for me energetically. And then when I meditate at night before I go to bed, I relax the brain from all the thoughts and all the stuff that I didn't get done. I'm just going to go into present moment and then leave my body. My body's going to have nice dreams. I don't wake up in the morning feeling really refreshed. See, so we can begin to reprogram our anatomy, if you will, to feel this way. See, we have control over how we feel. Nobody else does. It's up to us.
Yeah, and the fruit we bring everywhere. We start with ourselves, but our partner, whether marriage or dating, our kids, the workplace. When we close the program, I'll talk about conscious business, where it's precisely this. It's creating a culture of consciousness like this, where we're guided by the sacred in our collaboration and our decision making. Take it everywhere. I mean, it's really this is Barnett Bain who did the movie The Celestine Prophecy and What Dreams May Come and so on. So this is the age of consciousness. It's not the age of information anymore. It's the age of consciousness. So where we really hold these tools close and really live it, then all of this fruit in our own life and everywhere we go is present, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it's the age of awakening and being conscious.
Yeah, or divine emergence is what Panache says, and of awakening, and it's all the same thing. Well, Kenji, you created something here which for Global Oneness Day. Again, Kenji's a speaker during Global Oneness Day. I want to invite you all back near the beginning of this program today. We put in the window globalonenesssummit.org, a link there. You can click on that link and take a look at the incredible program. It's free. The whole program is free. It's this coming Tuesday, the 24th. It's over 12 hours of broadcast. It's in video for the first time. Kenji's on a panel with Patricia Cota-Robles and Alan Cohen. And it's just an amazing panel. It's called Spirituality Embodying Your True Nature. And the day is opened by Michael Beckwith and Panache Desai, and then Gary Zukoff and Matthew Fox joined them for a panel called One with the Divine. The whole thing is amazing, and it's people like Kenji and these other speakers that make Global Oneness Day possible. They come in, you know, pro bono for free. None of them are charging anything. Also the co-creators, and Kenji is also a co-creator that are promoting the program to their organizations. We call it our Earth Day for an awakened humanity. And the whole objective is the teaching that we're talking about here with Kenji, that these teachings are brought out into the open, that we see everything is interrelated, interconnected, and interdependent, that everything is a part of one thing. It's the ancient truth, the timeless truth. It's anything but New Age. And it affects the way that we live our life, and it affects the world that we can create together. So Global Oneness Day, I invite you to register. You can register for free. And if you miss any part of the program, we'll send you links so that you can listen in to the program later for free also. So Kenji, as part of Global Oneness Day, on the Global Oneness Day page, you've got this something called Illuminate Your Light, which is a really neat thing, which is quite inexpensive, that goes through these activations. Can we talk a little bit about that? How does this Illuminate Your Light package work?
Well, I came up with that title feeling that people could use a little more magnification of their light, because perhaps their light was dimming a bit in the world due to the chaos and the density and the earth changes and all of that. So that was the reason for the title. We did 6 activations. These were online classes of about 90 minutes each, and was designed to help the receiver to enhance their presence here on the earth. So in the first activation, we went into the space of creating more ability to receive your I am presence, to receive your divine spirit into your life, focusing on your purpose and destiny and a few other topics. And what we always do with these activations is we not only bring forth a focus of connection and oneness, but we also bring forth a focus to become aware of what may be blocking or resisting the manifestation of what people are desiring. So these could be emotional pains and traumas. These could be belief systems. These could be life experiences that are holding people back, in a sense, from fully moving forward all the time. Because we have a habit of 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, and then indecision, and then moving forward again, and then backwards and indecision. So these activations will help people not to be so, shall we say, wishy-washy, or we want them to be more confident and self-assured. Let's put it that way. Second activation is about transformation within, because all transformation is within. We went into a life review. Then that's pretty interesting, because you don't have to wait until your body is dying or dead to have a life review. You can do it now and save yourself time when you do make transition. So we always do things like that, a life review. We do it from a place of the observer. So we go into the quantum, we lead you into the quantum, so then you can have your life review, not from a place of reaction and judgment, but from a place of, oh, I see. Oh, I see. Very neutral, being the Voyager. Activation 3, we did a quantum reset. That to me always means helping people to reset their anatomy or any part of their life back to its original quantum state of balance and harmony and connection. So that's what we mean by when we do any kind of a reset, a brain reset, a heart reset, a destiny reset, a soul contract review, whatever. It's always back to that state of connection and oneness. Let's see. Oh, we also went into, again, becoming conscious of tribal consciousness and releasing your effects from tribal consciousness. That's mass thinking. That's how most people think, which is very different than how you think. That's why you're on the show. And the raising of self-esteem, always very important. Activation 4, we went into the spiritual anatomy, so that includes your chakra system, your auric field, your glands, your organs, your endocrine system, your nervous system, your lymphatic system, all of that. It's really good to become conscious of your anatomy and how everything is working in conjunction with everything else. And your chakras, by the way, are not just these things that float out in space and somehow look very bright and pretty when you clairvoyant you see them. These chakras connect your subtle bodies to your physical body. You have to have a chakra system of some kind in order to bring in the unseen, the ethereal, into the physical. So your chakras are like highways, portals, where light can be transmitted into your body so your body can use it. Manifesting your dream, activating your gifts. We all have many gifts, and they're all slightly different. We have speaking gifts, we have healing gifts, we have gifts of communication, we have gifts of caring, gifts of technology. We have many gifts. In the East, they say there are 16 siddhas or gifts, but you got many, and more is to come. We always leave the last activation for like an integration activation, an overview activation, but also we bring in something new and different. But we journey into this one, into the oneness, the higher version of yourself, experiencing more trust and the embodiment of your divine light. So these are just some of the things that we do. And if you look at it from an overview, that's quite a bit, not only of information, but it's quite a bit of energetic enhancements, which theoretically could take you a year to embody that, as an example. 6 months?
Yeah, thank you, boy, and thank you for bringing it to Global Oneness Day. Where this is, we're previewing it here now. It's called Illuminate Your Light. It's when you go to the globalonenesssummit.org page, you'll see special gifts or special offers, and it's there. We're previewing it here now, but the value is $347, and Kenji's offering it for half that price, for $167 for these activations that he just shared, the 6 activations. It says here, these are something that Kenji wrote about the activations. It says, receive direct assistance from the archangels, ascended masters, your healing team, guardians, and the higher realms of love and light. Through this exclusive program from Kenji, we will be teaching and sharing with you all the ways he's discovered to connect with the higher dimensions and divine helpers, so you can reach your illuminate truth, light, potential, and beam into higher consciousness. Illuminate now with eternal peace, love, joy in every aspect of your life. So really an amazing thing. A lot of times these things are kind of expensive. This is 50% off. It's part of the Global Oneness Day offer here, special offer. So it's a $347 value. It's $167. You can, on the Global Oneness Day site, globalonenesssummit.org, from special offer, you can pull down to read more. And also, they put a link here in the window. You can just click on the link to read more as well. So, Kenji, do you want to share just an inspiration as we're, I've got a lot of announcements here because there's a lot of really neat stuff happening this weekend, next week, that I'm going to tell you about. But Kenji, again, is a keynote on the spirituality embodying your true nature panel, which is perfect for Kenji, isn't it? Any inspiration or call to action that you'd like to share briefly, Kenji, as we're coming up on our close?
So get yourself inspired. So what does that mean? Get yourself inspired. Because when you are inspired, you can get a lot of things done inwardly and in the world. But without inspiration, it's kind of dead, if you know what I mean. So give yourself permission to be inspired from within, to do your homework and to do your life purpose with ease and grace and a lot of joy.
All right, perfect. And Kenji, what website can people go to follow your work, please?
KenjiKumara.com, KenjiKumara.com. And I also have a closed Facebook page that you can join, Kenji Nation, all one word, lowercase. And my Facebook timeline is Lightweaver7.
Okay.
I also have a public figure page on Facebook, Kenji Kumara.
Fantastic. And again, Kenji is such a great friend of Humanity's team and Global Oneness Day. And what an incredible hour with you, Kenji. Truly amazing. I learn a lot every time we do a program together. So thank you. And I suspect I'm speaking for all the viewers based on comments that are coming in. Thank you. You are fabulous. And I'm going to come back and thank you some more. But let me just share some announcements here. Global Oneness Day, again, next Tuesday, October 24th. GlobalOnenessSummit.org is where you go to register for free. Kenji will be in a program in the afternoon on Tuesday, so you want to check that out. Also, again, we have that link here in the window from the Global Oneness Day site. That's the Illuminate Your Light link, which you might want to just read more about as a minimum. It's an awesome opportunity to do these 6 activations with Kenji at this 50% off pricing. It's $167, which is, we think, is a really great value. This year, in order to create Global Oneness Day year-round, we're doing something unique. We're partnering with Barbara Marx Hubbard to create something called Awakening the New Species Within You. There's some free videos and things about this call to action. It's a planetary call to action. It's going to be over 52 weeks. And if you go to awakennewspecies.com, that's awakennewspecies.com or awakeningnewspecies.com, they go to the same site. You can receive these video journals. There's some free webinars coming up next Thursday, a week from today, and then 2 weeks from today, where Barbara and I will talk about this whole planetary call to action called Awakening New Species. So invite you to check that out if that might be interesting for you. It's our way of kind of taking Global Oneness Day and going year-round with it, which was a neat thought. We've never been able to do that before, so we're excited about it. Humanity's team is a key member of the Conscious Business Alliance. I shared during the program that together with other NGOs, one based in Europe, another in Japan, another one in the United States, we created the Conscious Business Declaration so we can bring into business the fullness of consciousness of what Kenji and I have been talking about here now. Just imagine a culture of an organization or a business where everything is sacred guided. The collaboration among the team is sacred guided. The decision making is sacred guided. That's what conscious business is. And it'll take us in the direction I think that we all want to go, where we've got healthy businesses in our communities all over the world, where they're providing nurturing products and services to the community. And yes, of course, making a profit. And conscious businesses actually are growing quite well, so they can make handsome profits. But they're also they set up to be a mission to focus on their mission first and their business second. And the mission is to provide those nurturing products and services to the community and to the earth. If you go to consciousbusinessdeclaration.org, you can read the short declaration. There are only 7 principles and a preamble. And if you get an inner yes when you read the declaration, we invite you to sign it, invite your friends and family to sign it too. Upcoming programs that you don't want to miss. This Saturday, the 21st, at 9 o'clock Pacific time, there's a 30-minute preview program with Neil Donald Walsh and myself. And Neil will be talking about the programs he's doing on Global Oneness Day. He's in 2 panels. So that's this Saturday at 9 o'clock Pacific time. Then the next day, on Sunday at 9 o'clock Pacific time, the 22nd, I'll also be doing a preview program with Barbara Marks Hubbard to talk about the program she's involved in. And she's also in 2 programs, Awaken New Species and Human Consciousness Shift. So be sure to check those out. They're only 30 minutes on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and they'll be real neat, great previews of what's to come next week. Then next week, on Tuesday the 24th, all day, starting at 8:15 Pacific time, is Global Oneness Day. And when you register, we invite you to, by the way, just X out the whole day. It's on video from your computer. Sit and watch it. Bring in friends and family and coworkers. Order pizza and just have a blast watching this amazing program of unbelievable leaders that participate. It's going to be a terrific day. Then one other program, again, the following Thursday, so a week from today, the 26th, from 5 to 6:30 Pacific time, is this free webinar with Barbara Marks Hubbard and myself, where we're going to talk about this planetary call to action called Awaken New Species. So be sure to check that out too. Okay, this program is focused on living in oneness. So we want to invite you to something called Community Circle. It's only $10 a month. It's an intentional community for people all over the world that are involved in this journey into oneness. There are over 350 programs like this one, some in video, some in audio, that you can listen to anytime, anywhere with your friends and family. There's also a book club, a private Facebook page, a Zoom meeting like this where people share of their personal journey, a lot of things, and it's only $10 a month. We're going to put a link in the window here and as well on the Humanities Team website. If you scroll down, you'll see a rectangle that says Community Circle where you can learn more about it. Okay, I'm coming back here to thank you again, Kenji Kumura. Such a privilege and a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you for being here. Really awesome. And I want to thank my colleagues here too, Garth Catterall, Christine, Nanette, Dee, Caroline. These are the people that make this program possible. They're actually running it right now. And they handle all the communication so people are aware of our program. So thank you to each of you. And thank you to all of you who are tuning in and that are here on Thursdays to do these free programs with our speakers where we're talking about living in oneness. Thanks so much. So in closing, I want to invite all of us to really live as one. Of course, this is ultimate reality. We'll each do this in our own way. And when we do this, as Kenji was mentioning, we draw in this presence, peace, and power that are our true essence. Okay, I'll see you this Saturday, the 21st at 9 o'clock Pacific time when we're on the Global Oneness Day site. That's where we'll be broadcasting from for that 30-minute program. And then the next day, Sunday the 22nd, with Barbara Marks Hubbard. So we'll see you then, and have a great day, everybody. Thanks again for being with us.